In the fall of 1934, Josephina Marcuso was a hopeful woman, a member of the thriving immigrant neighborhood of South Omaha known as Little Italy. Josephina, like many of her neighbors, had made some good money in the illegal liquor business. But with Prohibition, a recent memory, it was time to move on. She had bankrolled enough to fulfill a dream of opening a restaurant with her son Mondo at the helm, but many in the community opposed the plan, citing Josephina and her family as a bad element due to their illegal liquor connections, even going so far as to sign a petition. But Josephina would not be deterred. She had immigrated from Italy to the United States and was determined to live the American dream. There had been 10 unsolved bombings in Omaha's Little Italy in the past 2 years, and a known racketeer named Clarence Hanfeld had been found shot to death weeks before. Some of Josephina's critics noted that her son Angelo had sent a rather expensive floral arrangement to the funeral. The talk escalated, and the warnings came. Something bad's going to happen. On October 10th, 1934, the day before the grand opening of the Italian Garden, a bomb came through the front door and the explosion was devastating. When she arrived, she fainted, but weakness was not an option for Josephina. She ignored the warnings and threats, opening a few months later, and was a successful and profitable owner, selling the business in the 60s to Salvador "Sonny" Nokita. Sonny died suddenly in 1961 at the age of 44. In 2010, John and Allison Quarry leased the restaurant and opened Q Consumables. But less than 18 months later, John Q collapsed and died. Chef John Adam is the current owner, operating a catering business at the location and hoping to open his own restaurant in the near future. But Chef John and his staff have come to the conclusion that the restaurant may not be open, but it is currently still staffed. Disembodied voices fill the basement wine cellar, and dark figures dart in the stairways. Glasses fly off shelves, and a cold presence can envelope a person without warning. Chef Adam has been grabbed by unseen hands, and an unknown voice has called his name. The activity came to a pinnacle, and on October 10th, 2019, 85 years to the day after the bomb had ripped the place to shreds, the Metro Area Paranormal Society, or M.A.P.S, was called in to investigate. The following is a documentation of what they found. Chef?
I remember when we were doing the Omaha Food and Wine Society group, there's about 40 people in here. He had all this wine shipped in from Spain, and I did all these intricate dishes for them. And we're in the middle of service. I had waiters on the floor serving the tables. They had several open bottles of white wine sitting on the bar. Apparently, the bottle started tipping back and forth, and then it spilled onto the counter and poured out, and everyone just stood there and looked at it, and none of the waiters raced over there to it. The host was kind of pissed because, his expensive bottle of Spanish wine had just poured out, and my waiter just said, "Oh, it's okay, folks, it's just the ghost," and left it at that. And they all laughed and chuckled and whatnot, but it was more close to the truth than not, because since then I have seen bottles of liquor sitting on the table rotating. The liquor is like on a ship. It's moving back and forth. Right here, after finishing a party the night before, I left a bottle out and it's just like rocking, and then it stops. It gets all still. Somebody's manipulating that wine. I believe somebody has an interest in my liquor down here, or wine. I don't know.
My name's Melissa Haddam, and my dad owns the restaurant, and I work for him too as a server. A couple years ago, last summer, I was here doing some work for him, folding some napkins, and I was sitting out here in the dining room alone. And as I was sitting here alone, I heard my name called, and it was like, "Psst, Missy," which is my nickname. And so I, like any rational individual, went to the stairwell where I heard my name being called, thinking it was going to be one of my coworkers. It was not. Nobody was there. So I proceed to run back to the kitchen and I'd be like, is anybody here, like out here calling my name downstairs? And of course, nobody was calling my name. And another story that I have was a few years ago, I was downstairs with my older sister. We were shutting all the lights off after an event. And as I went upstairs with her, of course, I was in the back by myself going up the stairs, and I had my crossbody purse on, and it went from my hip to my back, and it felt like somebody was pulling me down the stairs.
My name is Scott Anderson, and I'm a friend of John's. I sense things more than anything. I can just feel the presence of entities here, or spirits, whatever you want to call them. At any given point in time, I can sit here or be here, and I hear them call my name, so to speak. I'll walk down to the wine cellar downstairs, and it's always cold down there. I mean, it's supposed to be cold down there, but not hair standing on your ends cold. Like something's engulfing you and walking through you. Just coming right out of the wine cellar, it goes from being cold to immensely hot. The temperature changes 10 to 15 degrees within seconds.
John, it's Chef Adam. Are you here? Did you type on my phone? John, it's Chef Adam. Are you here? Did you type on my phone? Would you like me to tell your wife something? My good friend knows your wife. Can I relay a message?
You'll protect him.
You'll protect him?
That's what it sounded like.
That's what I heard. Would you like me to tell your wife something? My good friend knows your wife. Can I relay a message?
You'll protect him.
You'll protect him?
That's what it sounded like.
That's what I heard. Do you miss eating? Do you miss eating? You want me to paint the front door yellow again? Something, John. You want me to paint the front door yellow again? Something, John.
Morte? Yes, you are dead.
Speaks to me.
Morte? Yes, you are dead.
Speaks to me.